Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the Saturday show. I'm Tracy. You're used to this show coming on at 4 o'clock, but I have an announcement to make about that. The show will still exist. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. But before I get started, I want to pay some bills here. Remember to subscribe to this channel. And yes, I'm wearing a blanket because my heat is down, and I'm not going to talk about my heating bill because it's ridiculously hot. So I'm doing this and keeping my heat off. But remember to subscribe to my channel. I believe I'm going to see. I believe I'm well past the 300, but I'm going to double check. I'm almost there, guys. Sorry. Just have to make sure I know the exact number that I have. And of course, it's taking very long to load up. Okay, so I have exactly 317 subscribers. 317 subscribers. Thank you all very, very much. We're on our way to 1,000. I didn't realize it gotten up to 317. So thank you to all who subscribed. But everybody else, hit that subscribe button. It's literally free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Also, you can support me on Patreon. Patreon support starts at $2 a month. And that helps me to keep this StreamYard going, keep my Zoom going, and hopefully one day bring my website back. Also, you can make a donation at my GoFundMe campaign. I have launched a GoFundMe campaign. My goal is to raise $1,500. That again, it goes to support StreamYard services, editing equipment, actual desk, possibly a new laptop so that I can do 2 screens instead of 1. So that would be fantastic if I could get to do that. And any level that you support, whether it's $1, $5, $1,500, it would be very much appreciated. You can also visit my merchandise store. Right now, we just have t-shirts. All funds raised from there also go to support this channel. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Rumble. You can also follow us on Blue Sky. And if you go to Blue Sky and you can't remember this address, all you have to do is type in, "Hi, it's me, Tracy," and that's HIITSMETRACY. You can do that. Most importantly, we've been doing very well with this. Help us to get 35 likes and 15 shares. That means I need you all watching this evening. So used to doing this show in the afternoon. This evening, to go ahead and share this with 15 of your friends. Of course, remember, don't forget to like this page. Also, that helps us in the algorithm. Remember to comment on this episode, or even if you watch this later on, to comment. That also helps us. There will be a t-shirt giveaway because apparently nobody knows the answer to my last week's question. So I'm going to tell the answer and give the new question and kind of set out some rules for that. So let's get started. So I have no idea what I was going to talk about. It's been a long week. Sorry, my throat. I hope I'm not coming down with a cold, but my throat is very, very sore. Usually if you watch your Saturday show, and I'm going to still do this. I go with a topic that's not political. It's just a fun topic for me to kind of get some steam off about some things that have bothered me. I've done the 80s a lot, and that's because it's my favorite decade. I grew up in the 80s. But I want to do something a little kind of the same. So I want to talk about this today. And I always talk about superheroes too, because I grew up with that. But some of movies that shouldn't have had a sequel, or no, movies that had a sequel, it was terrible, and movies I don't want to see have a sequel. There are movies that they are so... Hello, that's my cousin, everybody. Crystal Abram. Share this with everybody you know. Tell them I'm on air. Thank you for checking in. I want to talk about movies that were made into sequels, and the sequel was terrible. And I want to talk about movies that I don't want to see a sequel to ever, never, ever. So I'm going to start off with the movies that I don't want to see being made into sequels. And I'll cover a lot of subjects today, because I was planning this show for next week, but I thought, hey, I'm not doing anything. I'll just come on here and talk about anything. So that's why I'm here. Anyway, so one of the movies I wish, and I keep saying, I'm going to talk about this, and then I talk about something different. But I don't understand why The Color Purple was made into a sequel. I don't understand. The original movie was fine. I know the second movie was closer to the book, but since I never read the book, I guess I didn't care. I don't know why it was made into a sequel. I think it was just a waste of time. And then they remade it, and then y'all know I love musicals, right? I love musicals. Musical theater's in my heart. I love musical theater. But then they turned it into a musical. Now, I know there was A Color Purple, the musical, which again, that was closer to the book. But that didn't make me want to see the musical become a movie. Like, some musicals, don't make them into movies, right? Just leave them alone. I don't, again, understand why The Color Purple sequel happened. And then wait a minute, we got somebody commenting again. Yep, the movie was much better than the book. The musical was trash. It was like, okay, you have a Broadway musical, and again, I love musicals, so you never gonna say nothing bad about Broadway musicals to me. But that didn't mean, oh, let's turn this into a movie. And then they added elements, I guess, were in the book. But like I said, I never read the book, so I didn't care. So that's one. I wonder about, and people are going to just scream at me for saying this, but The Godfather. Not Godfather 2, that was good. But Godfather 3, I don't understand it. It was missing everything. It was missing a storyline. It was missing characters that I cared about. It was missing everything. And I'm going to keep saying this, I don't understand. I get when a movie's like a mega hit, and movie producers and studios, they want to capture that because they think that people are going to see it. But like, I don't know if in this case, did they forget to invite like the original writers? Did they forget that we were probably done with the Godfather story? I mean, Godfather 1, classic movie. Godfather 2, it wasn't as good as the first one, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, I still like the movie. But Godfather 3 was just literal trash. I mean, I can't understand it. Another one that I couldn't understand why they made sequels, all this Batman, Superman movies. And I'm not going to put them together. I'm going to actually separate them. So the Batman movie series, Of course, I'm not going to explain Batman's backstory. You all know it. But in wait a minute. When did the first Batman, not the 1966 one with Adam West. I'm talking about the other Batman movie with Michael Keaton. Okay, I'm looking up this on my. Okay, yeah, I'm coming. Okay, so Batman with Michael Keaton came out in 1989. So this movie was an unexpected hit. And you knew it was going to be sequels. But there was like some good ones. It's like some good ones, and then there's some not so good ones. And I looking at my phone because I can't remember all the terrible ones, but I know I'm trying to remember what Batman movies. Okay, so the Batman movies in order. And these are not animated, right? These are not animated. So, of course, I said we had Batman, the 1966 series, the Batman with Michael Keaton. Then I think there was a sequel, Batman Returns, in 1992, but I don't remember who played Batman in that one. I don't know if it was Michael Keaton. I'm looking here because I can't remember whether Michael Keaton was in this one, but it was in 1992, and blah blah blah. Blah, blah. Who played Batman? Oh, Michael Keaton was in the second one. But this one, I don't remember this one being as good as the first one, right? This one, I'm trying to think of who all was in it. Danny DeVito. That's right. Danny DeVito played the Penguin. And Tim Burton directed it. So you knew it was gonna be a drop off because Tim Burton, he like do that dark stuff. Michelle Pfeiffer, she played Catwoman. Christopher Walken was in it. Wait a minute. The Penguin's name was Oswald Cobblespot. Oh my goodness. So yeah, okay. So then it was that one. Then it was Batman Returns. Now let me tell you about Batman Returns. Nope, that's not the one I'm talking about. The Batman Mask of the Opera. That was on the anime series, so I'm not going to talk about that one. Batman Forever. Batman Forever. Why in the entire world was this mess made? Oh, I'm gonna talk about this one a while, so you might as well sit back. This piece of garbage. I'm trying to get it up so I can. Why doesn't it just click when I want to? I'm just gonna read it straight from the Wikipedia page. Batman Forever is a 1995 American superhero film based off the DC comic superhero Batman by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. It's the third installment of the Warner Brothers initial Batman film series. It was directed by, oh boy, you should have known this was going to be bad, Joe Schumacher. When you see Joe Schumacher's name, rest in peace, on anything, it's not going to be good. And produced by Tim Burton and Peter McGregor Scott. It stars Val Kilmer, this time is Bruce Wayne and Batman. I don't know if Robin's in this one. I think he is. He has to be. Val Kilmer. This is not the one I'm talking about. Because the one I'm talking about, okay, this one had Jim Carrey in it. This was terrible, but not the one. Okay, this is not the one I'm thinking of. Oh, I'm not thinking of this one. I'm thinking of Batman and Robin. Yeah, this is the one with George Clooney. Yeah, this is the one. Batman and Robin was the one with George Clooney. It had George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson Robin. Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze. Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy. And Alicia Silverstone made her first and last appearance, thank goodness, as Batgirl. Yeah, I wish I could show clips, but since YouTube took my Christmas Day special down, I can't share videos. Boo to you, NPR. Anyway, this was also directed by Joel Schumacher. Wow. Written by Avika Goldsman. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman, Alicia Silverstone, Michael Gow, Pat Hingle, and Ella McPherson. It was released on June 20th. Well, it premiered June 12th, 1997. It was 1 hour and 20, well, it was 125 minutes. Somehow this movie made $238 million. I'm trying to get to the plot because the plot, yeah, okay. I got to get to the plot because the plot of this movie is absolutely stupid. And I don't expect a long show because, like I said, this show was totally unplanned, but I do got some announcements at the end that's going to affect this show and other shows. So, Batman and his partner Robin encounter a new villain, Mr. Freeze, who has left a sting of diamond thefts in his wake. During a confrontation of this natural historical museum, Mr. Freeze steals a large diamond and flees, freezing Robin and leaving Batman unable to pursue him. Later, Batman and Robin learn that Mr. Freeze was originally Dr. Victor Fries, a scientist working to develop a cure for a disease known as McGregor syndrome, hoping to heal his terminally wife, Nora. After the lab accident, Freeze was rendered unable to live at average temperatures and forced to wear a cryogenic suit powered by diamonds for survival. So you can kind of see why he wants to steal it. At Wayne Enterprises lab in Brazil, because apparently Wayne Enterprises does something. I thought it was just a foundation, but hey, that's just me. At Wayne Enterprises, a lab in Brazil, botanist Dr. Pamela Isley is working under the deranged Dr. Jason Woodrue, who has turned her research into plants into a super soldier drug venom. After witnessing Woodrue use the formula to turn serial killer Antonio and Diego into a hulking Bane, she threatens to expose Woodrue experiments. Woodrue attempts to kill her by overturning a shelf of various toxins. Instead, Isley is mutated into Poison Ivy, who kills Woodrue with poisoned kiss, destroying the lab, and escapes to Gotham City with Bane concocting a plot to use Wayne's money to support her research. Meanwhile, Alfred Pennyworth's niece, Barbara Wilson, makes a surprise visit and is invited by Bruce Wayne to stay at the Wayne Manor until she goes back to school. Problem: Batgirl was the daughter, at least in the TV show, she was the daughter of Chief Commissioner. Watch the old 1960s. This movie should never have been written. Never, ever should have been written. Sorry, again, my throat is very sore. I don't know who thought this. I don't know why they thought about it. I don't know what they were thinking when they wrote it. But Batman and Robin, So let's see. So the next one is Batman Begins, which I never saw. I didn't see The Dark Knight either. I didn't see The Dark Knight Rises. I did see Batman versus Superman because that was really stupid. I think Ben Affleck played Batman in that one. The Lego Batman movie was pretty good, but that was animated. Zack Snyder's Justice League, that's more of a combination. And then there's The Batman, which yeah, so I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why Batman and Robin was. If you look at it, it's like they tried to go back to like the 1960s, like the 1966 version where it was campy, wasn't violent, it was funny. But that worked for that time because we kind of bought into the fact that it was supposed to be campy, right? We just naturally bought into it. So now to the Superman sequels. Superman 2 was better than Superman 1. I'm not going to argue with anybody. I'm not going to have this discussion with nobody. Superman 2 was better than Superman 1 to me. I like the fact that he had to fight people with the same powers as he had, 3 of them. So those were good. That did not mean that Superman 3 wasn't going to be good. Superman 3, when again, I wish I could share clips of this. I wish I could share clips. Superman 3 had like they downplayed Lois Lane, sent her off to a vacation. Then Richard, no, I'm just going to read the plot. I'm just going to read the plot. Okay. And Gene Hackman wasn't in it. Like, he's the best villain, and he wasn't even in it. But let me read this trash of a plot and tell you why. This plot should just tell you why this was a bad movie. The conglomerate Websco Industry hires a computer programmer, Gus Gorman, who secretly embezzles $85,000 from the company payroll. Gus becomes the attention of Websco's CEO, Ross Webster, a cunning billionaire fixed on using technology for financial domination. Sounds familiar. Webster sees Gus's skills as valuable asset. With the help of his stern sister and his mistress, well, who was he married to? If he's got a mistress, he would be married, but okay, L'Oreal Ambrosia, he blackmails Gus into aiding his schemes. Superman extinguishes a fire in a chemical plant. As Clark Kent, he returns to Smallville for his high school reunion. Clark reconnects with his childhood friend / lover, Lana Lang, who has a young son named Ricky. Superman later saves Ricky from the combined harvester accident during a picnic with Lana. Webster orders Gus to use the weather satellite Vulcan to create a storm that destroys coffee crops in Colombia, aiming to corner the market. Gus complies, but Superman neutralizes the storm. Recognizing Superman as a threat, like why wouldn't you want to do that at the beginning? I don't know. Recognizing Superman as a threat, Webster orders Gus to synthesize kryptonite. Lana invites Superman to Ricky's birthday party because he don't have nothing better else to do. Gus and Vera infiltrate the party and give Superman synthetic kryptonite, which corrupts him and causes him to commit acts of vandalism, such as straightening the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and blowing out the Olympic flame. Gus proposes building a supercomputer for Webster in exchange for creating an energy crisis by redirecting oil tankers. Laurel seduces Superman and manipulates him into creating the oil spill. Superman suffers a nervous breakdown and splits into two images: the corrupt Superman and Clark Kent. The two fight, and Clark defeats the corrupt Superman, and Superman then repairs the damage to the oil spill. After surviving exploding rockets and missiles, he confronts Webster, Vera, and Laurel and the ultimate computer. The computer becomes self-aware and defends itself against attempts to disable. It transforms Vera into a cyberborg Vera who attacks Webster and L'Oreilly, I don't know how to pronounce her name, with energy that immobilizes them. Superman retrieves acid from the chemical plant, destroying the ultimate computer. Gus starts anew in West Virginia. Meanwhile, Clark visits his land in Metropolis, where she begins working as a secretary for Perry White. Lois Lane returns from Bermuda, exposed with an expose on corruption, and Superman restores the Leaning Tower of Pisa before flying into space. What a waste of movie time. This monstrosity, how do you take the talents of Richard Pryor, the greatest comedian of all time, and you do this to him? First you went away from the formula, right? The formula was semi-serious with some comedic elements, but to just turn around and go full comedy, it wasn't necessary. This movie wasn't necessary. I don't know what the actors were thinking. No, let me backtrack. I don't know the person that thought about writing this. What were they thinking? Did they just think, you know what? Let me just come up with the worst thing, with the worst script I can. Who wrote this mess? David and Leslie Newman. I mean, I don't want him. Well, rest in peace. He did good movies like Bonnie and Clyde. Leslie Newman. Wow. I don't understand. And Leslie Newman, the wife, wrote the first two scripts. She didn't learn nothing from the first two that she wrote. Oh my goodness. But worse, guys, was Superman 4. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Sometimes I wonder how desperate people are for money. You know, my heating bill is almost $500, and I'm wondering, would I be desperate enough to do what these people are doing? Would I be desperate enough to get on screen and be in this movie called Superman 4? Yes, Nelson, I know, but they didn't have to do this. And welcome, cousin Nelson. How you doing? They were trying to piggyback off the success. They were, but when you try to do it and you say, "Oh, this movie was successful. Let me make another one." Make the other one good. Don't make this. But here comes the worst one: Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. I don't know. This is a case for making marijuana illegal, because I'm convinced they had to be smoking something. Yeah, you people that don't like my joke, go away. But this doesn't even make sense. It was written by Lawrence Connor and Mark Rosenthal, who came up with this story. And I don't even want to talk about Supergirl because that's no. We can just gonna read the plot. So I think I can do this one from memory. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So the main plot, because this movie has like 15 subplots. So the main plot of Superman for the Quest for Peace is Superman goes to the United Nations, which isn't in New York, it's now in Metropolis, right? So he goes there and he tells them, hey, all y'all, wait a minute, let me backtrack. So the president of the United States, or the president of the world, as he says in his little speech, says, the summit, which apparently there was a summit, it didn't go well. So that meant that they were going to up the ante, right? They were going to produce more missiles because basically everybody else is. So a teacher, they cut to a scene of a teacher in a classroom, like, what can we do? Kid says, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to write Superman. So the kid writes Superman a letter. Superman gets it via Lois Lane, who gives it to Clark Kent, who everybody knows is Superman. Anyway, so then Superman goes to the United Nations. Now, again, instead of the United Nations being in the state of New York, and I think New York City, now it's in Metropolis for some reason, because I thought Metropolis was in the Midwest, but hey, whatever, this is just me. So Superman gets up and makes this speech about how he's decided to take nuclear weapons away from all countries. And nobody has a problem with it. I mean, they're sitting there. I'm trying to turn this space heater on, but it's not coming on. Oh my goodness. He basically tells them, yeah, I'm going to take all the nuclear weapons and I'm going to throw them in space. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor is now joined by his nephew, Lenny Luthor. Yeah, Lenny Luthor, played by Sweet 16. What was that movie that John? Oh, wait a minute. What movie was that Jon Cryer was in? What movie was Jon Cryer in? Jon Cryer. Wait a minute. Hold on. They didn't put him down, but it was Jon Cryer was Ducky in Pretty in Pink. Oh my gosh, Pretty in Pink. So Jon Cryer played Lenny Luthor, and he and Lex Luthor come up with the brilliant idea they're going to destroy Superman. So then they go to this museum that's dedicated towards Superman. And they have this one hair that's strong enough to hold up 1,000-pound bomb or ball or whatever it is. So then Lex Luthor, helped by his nephew Lenny Luthor. Oh my gosh. They take, I guess, the DNA off of this hair by using a hedge clipper, but apparently this one here. So they take the DNA off and then they put it in a machine with clothes, and Nuclear Man is born. Now, I don't mean born like he just pops out of the air. I mean born from like embryo fetus person. And he's powered by the sun, I think. I'm pretty sure. Oh, and get this. So Mark Pillow is the actor that played Nuclear Man, but his voice was Gene Hackman's. So for some reason they didn't think, oh, Mark, let's use your voice because after all, you can speak. Nope. they used Gene Hackman's voice. I don't know why. I don't understand why. Yeah, so Nuclear Man is a metahuman who supposedly has the same abilities as Superman, but if you put him in a dark room, he loses his power. Now, keep in mind, there's dark scenes where he and Superman fight that he definitely has his powers. So, and I'm telling the whole movie plot because it sounds stupid, but this actually happened. So then Superman and Nuclear Man fight. Nuclear Man scratches, and I mean literally scratches Superman. He loses his powers. He gets really sick, and then the super strong meteorite thing that was basically talked about way at the beginning, he's healed. Keep in mind this. Nuclear Man then comes to kidnap Lacey. And another subplot, the Daily Planet has been taken over by these evil people, and the publisher, the CEO, appoints his daughter Lacey as the new publisher. So Nuclear Man falls in love with Lacey, takes her to outer space. Outer space. She didn't die. She's screaming and hollering, and I'm like, but she's in outer space. Yes, it sounds like I'm being stupid in saying this, but I'm not being silly in saying this. He takes her to outer space. Superman tricks him into, of course, taking her back. He tricks him into going to an elevator, takes the elevator, throws it to the sun, which you would think would give him power, but it does. This movie is stupid. Stop it. Stop making sequels. Another one before, because I didn't realize I would stay so long on this one, is there's a scene at the very beginning where a Russian space bot has like a problem, and Superman flies into space again, saves the ship, and then starts talking to them. I didn't know Superman could fly into space like that. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's an edition of the comics I didn't read. Yeah. Remember to hit that like button on your way in if you're watching. This movie, I don't know. I mean, I get they were trying to capture on the success, and that the fact that Hollywood can't come up with something, I don't know, called an original idea. It'd be nice if they could come up with something original that's never been done before, but hey, apparently they can't. But this one, it's just if you ever get on YouTube, which is how you're probably watching me, just watch or just type in Superman 4, Roman numerals, not the number 4, but Superman IV, The Quest for Peace. And just watch clips. Watch clips and see, don't you understand why I say this should never have been made? So I've talked about The Color Purple. Why did they make it over Godfather 3? All the Batman movies, Superman 3 and 4. Another movie that I'll switch over now to the movies I don't want to be made sequels. Well, no, I'll talk about Indiana Jones. I didn't need to see that regenerated AI thing that they tried to do. I wasn't on that. None of the Star Wars. I only like The Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. I don't care for any of the other ones. Basically, why? So there's a lot of them. I'm just like, I get you have success, but you can't come up with an original idea. You can't spin it off. Like you could have spun it off and said, Lex Luthor, origin story. Well, okay. that'd be something I might want to see. But no, we don't need to see the same character over and over and over and over, especially the Batman series. I mean, they were waiting like 2 years. Here comes another one. Here comes another one after that. Stop. Ugh. So now I can briefly talk about the movies I don't want to be made into sequels. The Wizard of Oz. Let me tell you something. Don't make a sequel of this movie. Leave it alone. Do not make a sequel of The Wizard of Oz. Do not make a sequel of Citizen Kane. Do not make a sequel of they already tried to do it of the women. Oh yeah, they did make one of the women. Those are basically the two that I'm like, there are some, those two to me are classic movies that I don't need to see remade. Just leave them where they are. Just let them stand alone as the classics that they are. And then we could just go from there. Hello, Angie, Patty. I'm sorry you had trouble sharing. To Messenger, I did not realize that. I apologize. I don't know. I'm not a computer expert, so asking me how to rectify that's just gonna be a lost cause, unfortunately for me. But like I said, I did not think I was gonna go off about Superman 4: The Quest for Peace that bad. Oh my gosh. And I'll probably revisit this topic because, again, this show was unplanned. I had not planned on doing this show until next week. But here come all the announcements in terms of next week. So, wait a minute. Okay, so now we come to the portion of the show where I like to call it the T-shirt giveaway. So I'm going to put my email address in the chat section. This is my email address. When I say the question, please email me with the subject line with your answer. So just type this email, TracyMediaLLC@gmail.com, and in the subject line, put your answer. So the first question that I tried to ask to give away a t-shirt in my merchandise line was, name the over-the-counter prescription that Jesse Spano was addicted to. And apparently don't nobody want a t-shirt, but I'm going to give one away. I don't care how badly I have to do it. So the answer was caffeine. Caffeine was the answer. This week's question, if you put this in the chat, I'm going to be very, 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 very upset. Do not put the answer to the question I'm about to ask in the chat. Instead, email me at TracyMediaLLC@gmail.com. The question is, name any member of the Jackson 5. I don't care who it is that you name. I don't care if you name the most famous member of the Jackson 5. I don't care if you name the least favorite member of the Jackson 5. All I need is one member. Whoever emails me first will win a 5XL t-shirt, my merchandise line. That is the question. Now, see, Brew, by the way, you just not live. Now, did I not just say, do not put the answer in the chat? You put the answer in the chat. See, he doesn't want a t-shirt. I'm trying to give away t-shirts. I'm trying to give away a t-shirt. So email me your answer at TracyMediaLLC. See, he gonna just keep going. You gonna just keep going. He doesn't like me. That's what it is. He doesn't like me, right? He just comes here, just puts answers in the chat. Did I not just say, don't put the answers in the chat? I want you to email me right at this email address. Any member. I don't care which one you put. I don't care if you pick the most famous member of the Jackson 5. I don't care if you pick the least famous member. All I need is one member of the Jackson 5, and I will ship you a 5XL t-shirt. I'm going to give away a t-shirt, period. So just send an email there, put your answer in the subject line. I'll email you back and you tell me where you want me to ship it, and then we'll go from there. Putting the answers in the chat. I already said, do not put the answers in the chat, but you put the answers in the chat anyway. That is the question for the t-shirt giveaway that I'm going to keep doing. Now, if y'all can't answer that question, I don't know what's wrong with you. Literally don't know what's wrong with you. So again, email me, put your answer in the subject line, and I will ship whoever does it first because it's time stamped. I will mail you a t-shirt. It'll be black with my logo on it, and we'll do those t-shirts not every week, but we'll do them off and on. Okay, so next week is going to look completely different. Let me get this up here. So this show, the Saturday show, will move to 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is because I have a committee meeting that starts at 4 and goes until around, I think, like 6. It maybe goes from like 4 to 6, somewhere around there. Anyway, that's going to take place until March. Once March comes and we're, ready to go on our way, you keep putting answers. Real, by the way, don't make me come to Florida. I will literally come to Florida. But that's because the reason this show is going to move to 2 p.m. on Saturdays is because I'm on a committee and it meets from 4 to 6. And until that committee is straightened out, I think sometime in March, it'll stay on like that pretty much until then. So next week, the Saturday show will move to 2:00 p.m. At 7. See, now you're just trying to be smart. You heard that part where I said, don't put the answers in the chat. I'm trying to give away a t-shirt. I really want to give away a t-shirt. Next week, the Justice is Here podcast makes its debut at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be interviewing people from the newly formed Justice for All party all across the United States. We're going to have fun. I just saw the introduction. If you follow me on Facebook and you're a subscriber, you should see it. And like where you go to see like the new YouTube videos, mine should pop up. You'll see it. I'm excited for this show. I haven't like sat down formally and said, hey, this is what the show is going to be about, but just excited. There's a lot of terrible things going on in our government right now. You have one party that wants to restrict while the other party sits by and watches. And now is the time to get organized and do something about it. So I look forward to the Justice is Here podcast. I keep looking because there's a Well, somebody did. Somebody emailed me, so somebody's getting a t-shirt. Congratulations. I'm going to get the name right. And she emailed me twice. Oh, she did all 5 of them. But congratulations, Ange Patty. You won a t-shirt because you followed directions. I will email you back probably tomorrow and put your t-shirt in the mail. Thank you. Somebody got a t-shirt. Thank you. Somebody, not rude by the way, followed the instructions. There is a winner. We have a winner. Now, remember, I won't be doing a t-shirt contest giveaway on the 7 o'clock show. Justice is here, but I will be doing it on I will be doing it on the Saturday show. And we got some more comments. Please do. You're welcome to visit. Ha ha ha. It's warm this week to visit. Oh, yeah. You put up the money and I'll visit. Yes, congratulations. Congratulations, Aunt Patty. Ange Patty. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Already got the notification. Yes. So if you are my subscriber, you already got the notification. The Justice is Here podcast is on next week. Super excited. Again, we have so many issues going on with 47. Okay, so the way you join the Justice for All party to help, you go to, and I'm going to type the address in the because I didn't plan on typing this in, but shoot. I'm just going to type it in. Okay, so basically, you go to CornellWest2024.com. However, when I email you for your address, because now I have your email address, I will put the direct link to connect with whatever state you're in. There's a lot of planning going on right now, and certainly we need your help and anybody else that wants to help. Again, we have one party that wants to bring Nazism to the head front, and while the other party that was supposed to be the resistance, they just sit back and watch, and we can't anymore. It's time for us to step our entire game up. Step it up. So that show will be on at 7. And that is pretty much it for me. Oh, no. There's one more thing. There's one more little thing that I have to announce, and this will be for my Patreon supporters. I'm trying to find it. This is a pretty big one for me because I haven't done this in such a long time. And I'm going to share this screen. Oh, Minnesota. Oh, I got the person for you to contact. Yep. I'm going to get, yep. Oh, I can't wait to connect you to my contact in Minnesota. So I have one more show to announce, and we're going to just show you the screenshot here. So as you know, with my new schedule, I had to take down one of my shows. I had a show, or I still have a show called The Tracy Show. It used to air Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesday was the day I talked about politics, and Thursday was the day that I interviewed third-party candidates. Well, I got kind of tired of reaching out to third party candidates that decided that my show didn't have enough subscribers. So now I have only will podcast the Tracy Show on Tuesdays, um, with a slightly improved format. But Tracy Talks is my Patreon exclusive show. On this show, I will interview activists all across the United States, talk about what actions they are doing. They could be from any party as long as they're not Republican or Democrat. It will air pre-taped Thursdays at 8 p.m. And the only way that you can watch this particular show that should start sometime in April will be if you are my Patreon. And I know that kind of stinks for people, but I had to give my Patreon audience something that was exclusive. And so this show will air, it'll be pre-taped. It'll air Thursdays. And I will be interviewing activists all across the spectrum to see what they're doing, and we'll take it from there. So that was my last announcement. Anybody have some questions out there for me? I feel like I'm answering questions at this point. I'm trying to. And see how she followed directions? She actually put the answer to her question. She put the answer to the question in the subject line, just like I asked. See, that's what we need. We need somebody, Rue, by the way, that follows instructions. Anyway, I did not think this show was going to go. There is no time to lose, and it's important that we get the Truth, Justice, and Love Party agenda on the move. I did, but I came late. I came so late. I thought it was at 4:30, and it's at 4. So now I got it on my calendar. But the part I was in, I kind of get lost on the way, but somebody got me back on track. But that's good. So, guys, again, looking forward to next week. Looking forward to April when Tracy Talks comes on the air. Remember to like this podcast, this one that you're watching now. Share. And if tomorrow I have a favor of everybody that's watching. So if you could go back tomorrow and put comments in the comment section, that would be so very helpful. It helps us to get in the algorithm. We have to increase from our 317 subscribers. And yes, I will have a 300 subscription celebration show, but it'll be like in the next 2 weeks, but I'll get that together a little bit later. Didn't want to announce that just yet. But thank you all for watching. I'm going to take myself down. Even though this was last minute, remember this Saturday show will come on at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week. From next week until like the last week in March, it'll be 2 p.m. And then maybe we'll move back to 4. If it goes longer, it'll go longer. And I'll just keep moving it back. But it'll be 2 p.m. at least until the end of March. The Justices Here podcast will be on at 7 p.m. So be sure to tune into that. Be sure that tomorrow that you put a comment in the comment section so that other people will know that the show is coming on. I'm going to take myself down and do the outro. Remember to subscribe, like, share, comment, like, share, subscribe. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great evening.